piloting, healing helps, event design, and more. We're going to get a look at the dev feedback and community suggestions for August and September of 2025, plus the Korean community gathering Q&A. Let's get after it. Up first, this recent matchmaking Q&A mentioned that recent peak power is one of the factors, but earlier, customer service said that power doesn't affect matchmaking. That's really confusing. Does power actually affect matchmaking or not? This is an interesting question as someone who's in a kingdom with Wildline and Mr. Hope who have a lot of power. How does that work? Thank you for your question. Our new matchmaking system, our new matchmaking algorithm, no longer considers troop power as a matching factor. However, it has not completely replaced the previous system. Instead, both algorithms operate in parallel and complement each other to ensure fair and balanced matchmaking, essentially in exceptional cases. So yes, power still matters, depending on which algorithms at play. The new algorithm has demonstrated stable performance through long-term testing and currently serves as the primary basis for matchmaking. I wonder when this algorithm went in, because very recently, I had a KVK that turned into a farming fest because we couldn't figure out how to make it fair. And that could just be that the players all couldn't figure it out, or maybe it's imbalanced. I don't know which it actually is because we didn't obviously play the KVK. We were all farming, but I wonder when this went down. At the same time, we continue to refine the previous algorithm. As mentioned above, its power calculation has been updated to consider the recent peak power of active players. Allowing it to work more effectively alongside the new system. So yes, they still look to an old algorithm that does have power involved. So yes, peak power still could be a factor, depending on whether or not the new algorithm is looking like its assessment is accurate. So therefore, while the new algorithm does not rely on power at all, the previous one might, and when appropriate, they look at that. Yeah, okay. We hope this explanation provides a clear understanding of the system and addresses your concerns. This actually is very transparent, and I applaud the transparency. I do think that the peak power doesn't lead to correct matching outcomes, as evidenced by, I'm in a farm KVK now, my prior KVK was a 3v1, the one before that, well, that was an issue of kingdoms not realizing how the Diplo had to go, I think. But in my last KVK, I guess it was 2 KVKs, which was a 3v1. My last KVK, 606 really needed to ally the weaker camp. Like, they urgently, to have the best KVK, they needed to ally the weakest camp. And we needed to ally 489. I think they would have favored us, to be transparent. But I think they would have maybe had a chance to win that KVK if they had allied that way, but it would have been very hard for them, but there was a chance. Whereas what they're doing now with the 3v1, isn't there no chance that they win? Why make these choices? But whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. Please add VIP points alongside gold heads. Existing rewards to more than gems. This is extremely helpful for new players and keeps the VIP points of the old players ticking too. Once we reach SOC somewhere around VIP 16, all gems go to materials. It sets a bit more value to the event. I don't know, man. A question that's just give me more value now, please, is kind of what do they say? Thank you for the suggestion. We'll conduct a review of VIP point system. Yeah. I don't know what they expected them to say. There's no justification for more rewards and more than gems, but please, sir, can I have some more VIP? I think that's great for everybody to get more value from the event. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't know why the devs would do it. You know what? It would be interesting. Here's what would be interesting. Gosh, I'm a creative. Should I pat myself on the back for being creative? Let me just break my arm real quick. But it would be interesting if in the early game they accelerated your rate of VIP gain. Or maybe you should accelerate the rate of VIP gain in the end game so people can catch up. I would not be opposed to an acceleration somewhere. If you peel this back to what problem are they trying to solve? I think there might be something there actually. Okay, daily quests. Added 1 sovereign key as a reward. Oh, they want that. We'll make changes according to it to improve the daily quests in SOC. What does that mean? We'll make daily quests add 1 sovereign key as reward. We'll make changes according to it. What is according to what? To improve the daily quest rewards in SOC. Did they just say yes? Did this guy just ask for a sovereign key every day and got that for everybody? What's happening here? I've had caffeine. I can't use that as an excuse for not understanding what's happening in that question. Dark Fortress. Terrible rewards. Literally no reason to play. You've got to get 8 strong rallies going and keep them alive for 15 minutes to get a few 5-minute speed ups. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this was knowable from Call of Dragons and when they put this event there, that this event, I don't, it's not how I'm going to spend my time. Like, I will do every goddamn event you put in this game. I'm not doing this one though. Thank you for your feedback. We'll adjust the difficulty and improve the rewards. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of this event in particular. If you are, I'm not going to yuck your yum, but especially for a few 5-minute speed ups, I'm not interested in committing my kind of time that way. I also have 3 kids, a boatload of YouTube channels, play more games than I should, and have so many obligations, it's out of control. So, you know, it be what it be. For a long time now, since 2018, we've had to manually... wait, what's going on here? Okay, this is a player question. For a long time now, since 2018, we've had to manually calculate the stats we overall get from each node selected from talent trees. It would be nice if the developers could implement a system so we can see the stats we've selected, like 6.5% attack combined automatically in the provided screenshot, maybe to the off in the side in the UI in game, since the talent tree has a lot of unused space. Holy complicated question. This is a small thing that other games already have too, so it would be nice to see it implemented. We already have an automated system for equipment and the total march for the stats. We don't have one for talent trees. This would be a welcome addition. Honestly, this is not, to me, this is not very important. I really don't think it's particularly important. Would it be cool? Yeah, I think they got bigger fish to fry, man. Like, if I'm a dev prioritizing stuff, this is not where I put the priority. Thank you for your feedback. The system is currently in design and development. Please stay tuned. A summary of what you get from talent points. I don't know. Call me crazy, but that's not going to level up my gaming experience here. We can skip tutorial. Now that would level up my gaming experience. Now look, this is maybe like a content creator problem or like somebody who's making farms problem or creating counts in new kingdoms. But every goddamn time I want to go look at something in a place and I make an account, it's like, hold on, waste 5 minutes doing this thing that you already know and really don't get no value from. We'll make changes accordingly. Please stay tuned. Absolute legend. Whoever said we can skip tutorial, they are an absolute legend. But also, I don't think this affects most people. I think that's just a me thing. But I guess it affects somebody. Okay, barb keep pits in home kingdom. The big resource pits that spawn after doing a barb keep in Lost Kingdom should also be in home kingdom. Doesn't make sense to keep it KVK only farmers. KVK only feature. All right. You know, 99% of the time I forget to go to those pits that spawn in KVK. Do you actually use those? Like, wouldn't it be cool if when you took out the fort, it spawned the pit somewhere useful to you rather than like in Narnia or wherever the fort was or keep was? We'll make the changes accordingly. Please stay tuned. All right. I mean, that's a W for the players that actually keep track of that. I haven't looked at a keep. I haven't so much as looked at a keep. I haven't even glanced at a keep in like a year or two. I mean, and this is coming from a guy who way back in the day, I'd farm up every goddamn keep that there was for rewards. I did. Back in the day, I was going for some sort of pattern. I don't even remember what, honestly. It wasn't the legendary pattern. I don't know what I was doing. Home Kingdom coalitions. Allow a Home Kingdom coalition to be made by the alliance holding the Lost Temple. This player is cooking. Give it all the same perks as a coalition from KVK. Alliance jumping in Home Kingdom can be a hassle. We'll adjust. Absolute legend. Whoever asked this question is an absolute legend. Alliance jumping makes me want to seppuku. It is not actually in Minecraft is what we're talking about. No, look, I'm just joking, but I really feel like the alliance jumping thing is like bro, I mean, I'd rather peel off my fingernails than keep jumping between alliances. KVK with too many kingdoms in one camp. Would be a good idea to improve the KVK experience by either reducing the max number of kingdoms under one camp to 1 KVK to match the coalition capacity for the KVK. So if you can, it's, you know, I wish they asked this in the form of the problem they were having. So what they're saying is, I think war camps have more kingdoms than can be in a coalition. So like you have to like smash alliances together, I guess, which gets really weird. And they say currently it causes a lot of disagreement and reduces players' interest in participating in the KVK. This is amazing feedback. Why is everybody thumbs downing this? Is that just because the first person thumbs down it and that's that? Thank you for your suggestion. We plan to introduce a mini season future. Oh, that's why they thumbs down it. That totally doesn't answer the question at all. Thank you for your suggestion. We plan to introduce a mini season in the future. What does that even mean? Where the number of kingdoms within each faction will be reduced, but the rewards will also be adjusted. So like, if you're in a little kingdom, they're gonna put you in the back of the bus, or I don't what's the expression? I don't know if any of these are politically correct, but like, they're gonna put you in Bozo KVK if you're in a Bozo kingdom. Is that what they just said? Is that what they just said? I think what they said is little kingdoms get little KVKs. I do not think that's what players want. What the player said was, please do not put more kingdoms in a war camp than is able to be squeezed into a coalition. That is a reasonable ask. Maybe by mini season feature, I feel like there's so much clarity that could be provided there. Like, I think the season duration is different and the whole map is different and blah, blah, blah. But maybe there's like a smaller map. Like if the answer to this question was, we plan to introduce a smaller map with fewer kingdoms and war camps to appropriately, to solve this problem or whatever, like I would be on board for that. I don't know. That is a weird answer, and I see why all the thumbs down are there. Cause like there's so much more I want to know than the information that was provided. And I'm sure they have good reason not to release that information yet, but this was a good question to tackle. The answer is for sure a head scratcher. Search button. Added a search button for the forts so it's easy and smart. Thank you for a suggestion. This feature is currently under development. Thank God. I mean, everybody has been saying this for more years. They also need to make it so you can automatically join Barb Fort rallies. Okay? This is not COVID times. Do this now. Not later, but now. I'm serious. Like, and there's like, you need to make this time efficient. Just straight facts, no cap. I play the competitive landscape. I know what they need to do here. I have seen what other games have. Barb Fort's got to be easier, in my opinion. And I think everyone will be extremely happy. There's obviously some, I think, what was the reason? Were they just against botting or something? Like, do what you need to do to constrain Barb Forts to make them less time consuming. That's my opinion. Make migration easier. Gathering passports takes a long time and a lot of credits. Weekly passports should be increased from 1 to 2 or 3. And the amount of credits needed should be reduced by half. Yeah, it is really important that people play with the people they want, but also you need to make sure people aren't just migrating all the time and screwing over their kingdoms. I feel like this is the wrong approach to the right problem to solve. Thank you for your feedback. We'll consider making adjustments in this direction by moderately reducing the required points. I mean, that's good for players. This aims to ease the migration burden while avoiding excessive price drops for migration permits. It could lead to indiscriminate migration and impact the game's ecosystem. Very good answer from the devs here, actually. I'm shocked they're actually going to give us a discount. And also, they hit the nail absolutely on the head. They absolutely crushed this. Like, you cannot have people migrating all over the place. You know, my theory is that, or my mindset on this one is, like, I would just make it so either you can't migrate in the middle of a season, or that, like, you have to migrate with, you can't migrate until the Zig is captured, or like, I don't know. I would put deep constraints on mid-season migration. Because, like, you know what makes KVK suck is if people leave in the middle. And, you know, it's weird because, like, we just had the situation where 1960 just migrated mid-KVK to join 489. So, like, I feel like people need to be able to join with the people they want to join with. And also, I think that mid-KVK migrations suck. So, there's a lot that would need to change to solve this the way that I would want to go solve this. And that doesn't mean that I'm right, because I would debuff people that leave mid-KVK with, like, a 300 million % training speed debuff or something insane. I would really punish it. But there's also good reasons to leave mid-KVK with the way that the game is designed right now. So I don't know. Let's move on. During our Korean community gathering in early November, we answered a number of governor submitted questions. Here's a recap. I love this, by the way. I love getting the recap because, like, as a content creator, I gotta, like, know a guy who knows a guy that's got the stuff, that knows the stuff, that, like, was adjacent to the stuff and, like, maybe can get it to me. So this is great to see. We're making match data. Are there plans to fix the unfair KVK matchups? I already talked about this one. You know my strong feelings. We're making match data and criteria more transparent. Currently, players can't see what drives match results, so the outcomes can be unexpected. At the end of the day, if players can't figure out why we're matched up, then the KVK's cooked. It's not going to work. We're also working to balance camps to make camp composition more balanced. For example, achieving an even 4-camp distribution of at least 2 strong, 2 weak balance. Good. It shouldn't be 2 strong, 2 weak, though. It should be 4 strong or 4 weak. This opens up a whole can of worms that has been debated a lot in gaming and other places. I can't remember if I heard Omniarch talk about this. I think it was Omniarch, where I think he was saying that, like, you need to have somebody to pwn to feel good about yourself at some point. And if you always get even or negative reports, like, life is not good, you need the dopamine hit of the, like, 100 million % report periodically, which is easier to get if there's, like, a strong and a weak. I hold a different sort of a mindset. I mean, I guess it depends where the fun is in the game. Is the fun in the report reviews or, like, something else? But, like, I would have either 4 strong or 4 weak camps, but never 2 strong and 2 weak. Because with 2 strong, 2 weak, you end up with the strongest camps allying together potentially against the weakest camps, which is a bad experience actually for everybody. I would not allow that to happen. Lastly, we'll keep adjusting the weighting of different matching factors. For example, when the new Crystal Tech launched, we updated the weighting for active player numbers. Sure. All right. Please add more rewards available for conquest coins. Bro, get out of here. Stop winning so much. I'm not sympathetic. Right now, the rewards aren't very appealing for allied kingdoms. Oh. Okay. No, I take it back. I thought this guy was saying he has more conquest coins than God and doesn't know what to do with them. I think what he's saying is, if you're allied with people and win, the winners get a bunch of autarchs, but what about everybody else? Maybe that's what's being said, and that's a fair ask. I was like, stop bragging. Come on, man. Let us losers get something. And he's actually saying what I want, which is like, hey, the losers need shit too, maybe. He isn't even saying the losers need shit. He's just saying the winners need stuff. Let's see what he says. We'll continue improving season rewards and reviewing them on a regular basis, adding more items available for conquest coins, new city skins. See, the devs understood it the way I understood it originally, which is not what he's asking, I think. As for reward distribution between allies, this is what he actually asked. So the devs are addressing both things that this guy could have been asking about. We're also considering improving the rules so higher tier rewards better match player expectations. Oh, maybe they didn't address this question. What I think this player said is the rewards aren't appealing for allied kingdoms, which means that, you know, we allied 93 this KVK, and like 20 people in our kingdom got autarchs, and the players in our kingdom, like the leaders of our kingdom, felt so bad that there's like so little prize distribution that they, like, people pitched in for flux scripts to buy for people Like, that is a lovely community gesture, but if you're on the winning team, you should feel like you got rewards, I think is what this player is saying. And I am aligned. Current KVK times are tough for players working in Asia. Any plans to change it? We apologize for the less than ideal experience. Our game is players from all over the world. Yeah, this is, with the way the game works, this is just very hard to solve. I don't think you can with a 24/7 round-the-clock fighting game. There's obviously improvements you can make, so let's see what they're saying. Make the first Chronicle chapter in the scenario mandatory and adjust this. Holy cow. I need to get my PhD in rockology. There's a lot going on in that question. So that all except Pass 4 will open at a fixed time of 13 UTC. Cool. So what they just said was they're going to fix the pass opening time to be 13, because that's probably better. And adding a voting feature for the opening time of Pass 4. That's nice. Cool. You choose between 2, 8, 12, 16, and 20. Neat. That could end up really poorly. We'll continue to gather feedback. Yeah, I mean, that's tough. With the way the game works, that's just really tough. Please remove healing restrictions. Amen. Bro, we don't need a heal cap anymore. What are we doing here? At present, we will not be directly increasing the number of healing helps. So what do they say? We analyze the current situation and think the underlying issue stems from the high resource consumption in the current KVK, which has led players to seek additional ways to reduce the burden. No, I don't know. I mean, they're looking at data, but I run out of helps, and when I run out of helps, I'll keep slamming, but I don't feel as good about it. Like, and some people just take that as a sign that they just need to log off. So, I don't know. To address this, we plan a targeted solution to lower healing costs. Free extra healing during battles. Maybe. I don't know. I see this a little differently personally. Too many pilots in the game. Do you have solutions to it? We soon will be running the small-scale test of War Frenzy duration to balance the impact of players with extreme playtime on the battlefield. The limit is set at 16 hours. We expect it to affect fewer than 1% of players. Yup. Yup. True. The overwhelming... I mean, I'm pretty sure this is what I said, right? Is like the overwhelming majority of players are not hitting 16 hours of frenzy, man. This rule still is in the testing phase and not final. We'll decide it in the next step based on the results. Good. I think it's, hey, look. I got nothing against the people that are pilots. I just don't think it's particularly good for the game state. Okay? To have 24/7 account situations. Because as I mentioned in the past, it leads to leaders running around telling you, insisting that you have to give your account to a stranger or have somebody. Like it leads to a whole cascade of situations. And even 16 hours, you kind of still need to. Like the reality is, if the limit's 16 hours and you're not on 16 hours, you ain't doing what you could be doing for the team. So it's weird. I'm glad they're looking at it. Please improve the leaderboard system. That is too vague for me. I don't know what they're looking for here. We plan to optimize leaderboards in the future of the season conquest by introducing more meaningful seasonal leaderboards, such as those tracking gathering, kill assistance. Wait, kills, assistance, and other in-season activities? Why do I care who's gathered the most in the season? Is that a wall of shame, actually? Okay, I'm on board. Actually, I'm not a fan of shame as an emotion. After new formations are released, will there be adjustments to the existing ones? Any plans for new formations? I don't think they would adjust the existing ones. To honor the time and effort our governors dedicate towards developing their formations, we refrain from making changes to formations that are already live. Yeah, you can't mess with the ones that are already in. Although, there are a few things they should do. Like, they should get rid of that weird, destructive legendary inscription on Arch and make that not lose rage. Design and development of new formations is actively in progress. Formations emphasizing skill damage, smite, and combo are expected to roll out gradually first half of 2026. We appreciate your patience and hope you look forward to them. I wish we had more clear timelines, because like I gotta know what I'm moving around or what I'm investing in, and like I'm so afraid of blundering and then eating a multi-$100 cost to just switch them right after I update them. Attack March is great, but it still has some issues. The original intention of Attack March was to lower the operation difficulty for everyone. We'll continue to optimize at the same time to maintain strategy and fun and avoid making combat too mechanical or dull. We will keep Attack March at relatively balanced level, meaning it not become stronger than most players' manual operations. Yeah, this is a tough one to balance. I mean, Attack March can't be better than what a player could do. Otherwise, like, the whole game just becomes Attack March, right? So, I don't know what the answer is there. In the new Season of Conquest enhancements, garrison troops take more damage than rally troops. Why is that? Is that true? As we continuously monitor battlefield balance, we have noticed some issues. We found the overall difficulty faced by the attacking side is higher than we expected. To bring the battlefield back to a more balanced state between offense and defense, we made some adjustments to SOC story enhancements and Crystal Tech. We hope everyone can enjoy battles in a more balanced environment. So they are confirming that that is exactly why they added all damage to the Crystal Tech. Okay, I don't know. The current permission for kings or R4s is too limited, making kingdom management very difficult. This is too vague for me, but sure, I'm all for improving leadership controls in the game. I've been saying that quite literally for years. We will be adding more king powers and rewards in the future, such as new achievement rewards for kings and R4s, new king skills, allowing kings to choose custom buffs. Love it. Watchlist has already been optimized to reduce ranking restrictions, and this update's now live. Good. W. The chat scroll feature disappeared at some point when closing chat windows. Okay, I don't know what is going on here. Is there a point to roll this back? It's a bug. Okay. Are there plans to rework alliance skills? We'll be adding new alliance skills in the future. That's a W. Can the achievement system be further optimized? After reaching 4,900 point achievement reward, there isn't anything there. We will further optimize it. Good. Early next year. Good. I feel like there's a lot they could do with achievements. Some achievements you just can't get, which is kind of annoying. Like, it's just like basically impossible, which is like, I don't know. I'm a completionist. I want to be able to get 100 out of 100 on everything, but that's literally never going to happen for me or for anyone except maybe Wildlion Mr. Hope. So like, because certain things are literally impossible, it makes me less inclined to engage with the whole system, you know? Because I can't be a completionist about it. You literally cannot. I don't get all in on it, you know? Like I would otherwise. Now that engineering commanders have been released, why aren't there any Zenith skins? Because they are not as popular. Okay? Because they're just not as popular. They'll consider adding it in the future. That will be the least participated in Zenith, although Siege players will rejoice. You almost need to have it be like an option. What they should do is almost like you can choose a Siege one or you can choose this other one. Yeah. Anyways, all the inscribed legendary armaments, V, that are for engineering commanders are related to normal damage. But except Gaja, Mata, Gonzalo, and all the engineering commanders are skill damage. Yeah, true. I said this ages ago, maybe in the last year, maybe it's not ages ago, that like the way range formation works is really weird because it's too generalist kind of. And they lose out on the opportunity of having like ranged but normally, and ranged but skill damagey, and ranged but smitey. So I think there's really opportunity for them to give some customization there. They say, we'll consider adjustments and optimizations based on future circumstances. The current boost of the inscribed legendary armament is because for a long time there was a strict need to maintain balance between the strength of the ranged and melee commanders. As the battlefield continues to evolve, we will introduce updates. All right. Cool. Need a feature to automatically promote R4 upon rejoining the alliance. True! The biggest true that ever trued. Right there. It's currently under development. Thank God. Good. Absolute W. During joining rallies or garrison, please add the tier setting. In the rally and defense battlefields of low tier players join, it's really tiring to find them. Yeah, I mean, you know, I watched Omniarch's video in the background while I was doing something else, and I think he talked about this as well, but like, it is maddening that it is goddamn impossible to find who you're trying to promote to be the garrison captain. Like, here's a crazy idea. What if whoever is geared up and is using garrison commanders and is likely to be the best garrison captain the moment they were in the garrison or on their way to the garrison, that was near the top of the list, and you weren't like bouncing here, bouncing there, bouncing here, bouncing there, bouncing here, bouncing there, bouncing here, bouncing there. And like, you're going to get a seizure trying to pick the garrison captain. No, I'm not kidding. I don't know how you get seizures. Okay. Daily special offer is the only method to get Steven. Yeah, he's a siege commander, so like most people kind of don't care. Methods will be added and are under development. Okay, cool. In the future, will the meta of infantry, smite, cavalry combo, archer, healing be maintained? If so, will archer healing be valued again in the future? Because currently archer healing feels abandoned. Well, it feels abandoned because it was abandoned, right? Like, it wasn't kind of abandoned. It was 100% absolutely no questions asked abandoned. Maybe they'll come back to it now that they figured out the thing that we've been saying for a long time, which is that healing just brings back troops that get sev wounded again. But with GG, now that's not a problem anymore. So if they make healing like that, now we can cook. So there will be more attempts with the healing system in the future. We can't guarantee it will be applied to archers. It will be applied to other troop types. Shajar has both healing and damage. Yeah, but she sucks for damage. Let's be honest with each other. So we want her to be viable in both types of lineups. I mean, healing archers got abandoned, and we'll see how much they come back to it. But like, clearly 0 of the kit of QSH went in a healing direction. So see, and that's why people are giving the thumbs, the down and the clownies, because clownies. What am I saying? The clown emojis, because like, the game design said go to healing archers, and then it changed, but players who did it now are ass out. And I'm not saying that negatively, and this is saying, don't worry, we'll come back to it, but like, what are those players supposed to do in the meantime? Use conversion stones to make it something else, and then when they add healing back to archers again, use them to switch back? I think that's why people are reacting this way, right? Q20. There was a brief mention last year of T6 troops. Are there any plans of this? No plans. The most upvoted thing. So I have seen new troop tiers get added to games and be perfectly fine. I have. I have seen it, and it can work. Am I saying that it's fun or the best way to go for Rise of Kingdoms? No. I'm just saying I have actually seen this done, and it can work. But I haven't been paying enough attention, honestly, to know if you know, this leads to games succeeding or failing. I think Omniarch talked about this, and I think his perspective was just generally that this is just going to be bad. For Rise of Kingdoms, I think the precedent is too deeply locked in that we're not getting new troop tiers. So they'll just give us new troop tiers in some other way. Like iconic equipment upgrades was basically a new troop tier. Just do it some other way without calling it T6. But it's going to happen. With animated avatar frames already released, is the development of an animated name plaque underway? We are not currently developing animated name plaques. Yeah, this is a must-do for them. They don't realize how much they need to do this, but they 100% need to do this. When I use the word need here, I mean absolutely they must make animated avatar frames. Trust me. Those go hard. They slap. You need this. You don't realize how much you need this, but you need this. You do. You just don't realize it yet. It is a very good suggestion. W player who suggested this. All in all, this is a good Q&A with the devs. I applaud the devs' transparency here. They share what they're thinking. As a player, obviously, I have strong opinions, and I might feel differently than what the devs are saying, but hey, they're the ones with the data, so they would know better than I would anyways, what players are thinking or feeling, or at least what the data would imply. I don't know, some of these answers, I have a different opinion, but you know, whatever. You enjoyed the vid? Throw a like on here, subscribe. This is a lot of really helpful information. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Chisgule Reads the Q&A. But people do watch these vids, so W. And if you want to see my thoughts on GG. I shared a ton of reports of him in a live stream yesterday, and it was really awesome. Also, I had like the best luck of my life. So like check this stream. This was a really fun stream. And it was short. It was like an hour, which for me is short. But this was an absolute W of a stream. So watch it right over here.